Hey there, legendary souls. Welcome back to Unconventional Counseling. Today we are checking in with the Libra. Hold on, there's different ways to say this. The Libra lunar south node eclipse. Hopefully that makes sense. There's so many different words that you can use to describe what you're talking about in general, but also with astrology. So we're checking in with this Libra full moon. We are officially in eclipse season of this year, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this particular full moon. It's going to be a very powerful one, as every eclipse moon, like every eclipse season full moon would be. But this one feels extra special to me. We're going to pray, and then we'll get into the message, and I'll tell you more about why I'm excited. All right. Divine Alchemist, angels and archangels, well ancestors for the viewer's highest good, well ancestors for my highest good, we invite you in at this time, and we welcome you in with so much gratitude for your continued willingness to be a part of our journeys, to support us in our healing, to allow us to continue to evolve and to transform into the fullest expression of ourselves and of our souls. Also, we invite in the Libra full moon, the Libra South Node eclipse full moon, whatever the words are, you are welcome here. Thank you so much for lending your energy. I ask that this message can be concise, can be clear, can be supportive to the viewer, and supportive to me as I continue to exercise and deepen in my own gifts. May the viewer be able to practice their discernment and to recognize what is for them and to recognize what is not for them, what is very clearly for someone else. And may they be able to leave whatever does not resonate and honor and take in and embrace what does. I ask that my discernment is also clear, that I am a clear channel for this message, that I say encouraging, heartwarming, beautifully supportive, honest and truthful messages from the moon to our viewer, to continue to support them on their journey. Thank you for these gifts. Thank you for this opportunity, for our time and our intention to align together. And thank you for this channel and how it just continues to support us all as we heal and grow together. Thank you for all that you have done, all that you're currently doing, and all that you're going to do in service of these intentions. Ashe. All right. So let me tell you why I'm excited about this Libra lunar south node eclipse. I had to write it down. The words. They'll stick eventually. So, as you know, potentially, wherever the north node and the south node are, it impacts us all. It impacts the whole collective. And so they move, I think, about every year and a half or so. They change signs. So our south node is in Libra. So that means all the shadow traits of Libra energy is up for us all, is like just really shown itself. All of the codependency, all of the not really respecting boundaries, not having boundaries, not honoring self, not honoring your time, your resources, really prioritizing the expectation that other people need you, trying to save people, trying to be saved. All of the shadow qualities of Libra, like not really leading in a decisive manner, like being very indecisive, a lot of self-doubt. All of the shadow qualities of Libra energy is present for us all. We're all seeing it and feeling it maybe more deeply than we typically do within others, and especially also within ourselves, because whatever we're going to try to point out for other people, we got to look at in ourselves too. That's just what I believe. And it tends to soften karma, it tends to soften anger, it tends to shift us pretty quickly into a space of compassion if we can do that. So this is the energy that's like present for us all. And so many of us, we might have different backgrounds, we might have different family cultures, different traditions, but so many of us were indoctrinated with showing up for and supporting other people before ourselves. So many of us were praised sometimes, even if, like, sometimes people weren't praised, but were expected to take care of others. There are people who parented their younger siblings because their parents were unwell, because their parents were working, because their parents were just absent in some way or another. So not only did they not get parented, those younger kids didn't get an adult, they got a child as their parent. These children were just trying to figure out how to survive together, but they don't know what they're doing, you know? So there are elder siblings, there are oldest siblings out here as adults who still feel this pull to take care of the people in their life, who still feel this pull to show up for friends or chosen family members or family members in this way of being the leader, of being the parent, of being the savior. And they don't want to do it. They resent doing it, but they do it because they learned how to do it as a kid. This Libra full moon is going to invite you, is going to support you if you want to let go of this way of being, whether this example of being an eldest sibling resonates or it resonates because of other identities that you hold. This Libra full moon is going to support you in letting this go, in trying on a new way of being, in believing that you get to honor yourself, that you are a part of the collective, you are a part of the community, you are a part of the family, you are a part of the partnership. You matter. And so if you're noticing that as you're giving, you're doing so with a hurt heart, and it's hurting you more when you give in these ways, or you're feeling resentful or deeply in pain because people aren't recognizing, acknowledging, affirming, noticing, thanking you. You feel like there's so much of a lack of reciprocity in your world and in your relationships, specifically in your relationships. Maybe also in your belief systems, your wider community, your wider net. It feels like no matter where you go, no matter who you talk to, you somehow end up in a mentorship position, a teaching position, a parenting type of position, a role model type of position, a position where you feel like you're responsible to someone else in a way that continues to make you feel lonely or isolated, or like you have to perform who you are and you can't just be yourself. This full moon is going to invite you. It's going to encourage you to let that shit go. Let's see what our cards have to say. We have the Two of Coins. Write down what it is that you want to shift. Write down what it is that you want to release. Write it down. If you have the idea of a plan, write down your plan of how you want to move differently. Maybe your new strategy, your new plan will be that you take your time in responding to messages. Maybe you give yourself a few hours, maybe you give yourself a day or two, so that you don't end up saying yes to things or trying to save people or trying to show up for people just because that's what they need. Maybe you show up for yourself first. Maybe that's your new plan. Find your new plan. Just sit with yourself. Get a sense of what it could be. Get a sense of what your body is saying. Check in with the last time you felt really resentful, really angry that someone didn't acknowledge you. What would you like instead? If that person is not capable of ever acknowledging you, just take them out of the equation. How are you going to get this validation that you need and this acknowledgement that you need? Could you give it to yourself? Could you maybe spend more time with someone who doesn't forget to thank you or acknowledge you? You might have to sit for a moment and check in and ask yourself, who does acknowledge me? This is a really great time for us to start shifting our lenses, shifting our perspectives, shifting our mindsets. This victimhood shit is on its way out. None of us are a victim. A lot of us have experienced extremely difficult, painful, abuse, harmful, oppressive acts. Things that are deeply cruel, anti-human, unethical, egregious. We could use word after word after word. Our feelings have been hurt. Our bodies have been harmed. Our souls have been crushed. Our hearts have been broken. We have felt betrayed, bitter, frustrated, angry, rageful. So much grief in our collective. So much of a desire for vengeance and vindication. So much imbalance. So much injustice, y'all. So much. And yet, what could it be like to no longer consider yourself a victim? To no longer consider another person, another party in your relational dynamics a victim? That would mean no one needs saving. That's what that would mean. It would shift everything. And to do that, to allow that shift while still having empathy and not allowing for your heart to grow cold or callous, that is very different from the shit that we've heard and seen. We've heard a lot of bootstrapping stuff over the decades, over the generations, of just pick yourself up and do your own thing. And that paraded as though that was about none of us are a victim. But that's a veneer. That's just on the surface. That's barely scratching what's underneath. That's just capitalism in a new dress. What could it be like for you to sense, to feel into, and to begin to trust that your entire journey is for a reason? There are things that you're strengthening within yourself. There are things you are learning. There are ways that you are discovering you're not meant to do everything for everyone. You're not meant to be everything to everybody. And that might be really painful, because underneath that pain, underneath that discomfort, that disappointment, is a pain that says someone didn't show up for you. Someone that you thought, that you hoped would be everything for you did not do that, or continues to not do that. Maybe you feel like you're missing out in some way because a parent, a partner, a friend, a sibling, a whoever didn't show up for you in the ways that you hoped, expected, needed. I feel you. I feel you. I think a lot of us in the collective are walking around with that feeling, of feeling like we missed out on something, we were supposed to get something. You know where you can always get that? From your angels, from your guardians, from your spirit guides. They're always there. They will never leave. Even when it feels to us like they're not there, they're there. They are there. So we have third house, communication. Make sure you understand what was intended in a letter or email you received. Ask other people what they heard you say in an exchange. Check the lines of communication and check your thinking process. When in doubt, ask for more information and repair any miscommunication. Notice the quality of your thinking. Stretch your mental muscles, repair glitches, and improve the quality of your communications. You may need to learn new ways to express yourself so others hear your true intentions. Think about how you learned to communicate growing up, through your relationships with siblings or with sibling-like friends. Through your early school experiences, investigate how those early relationships formed mental habits that affect the present moment. You may need to get out of your head and get a fresh perspective. Observe and test your assumptions. Check for confirmation bias. That's the tendency to believe anything that supports your opinions and reject new information that challenges your worldview. We're doing that with this Libra, lunar, South Node eclipse. We're checking all the ways that we've rejected things that felt challenging to us. We get to look at everything. Libra will deliberate over everything. And some folks will say, oh, it just means a Libra is indecisive. It's only indecisive if you don't make a decision after you look at everything. Only if you doubt the instinct that you have. Only if you undermine the logic, the gift of logic that you have. That's the next step. The first step is to look at everything, to consider it all, to face it all. Check in with siblings and sibling-like friends. Look for any shadow of rivalry and see if you can switch it to mutual encouragement where we can all win. It's up to you to reframe the dynamic. You know why it's up to you? So the responsibility that you have is not to people please. It's not to make someone feel better. It's not to be responsible for another person. The responsibility that you have is to face everything, to look at everything, to notice how you feel in relationships, and to decide, you know what, this relationship is important to me, and it feels like there's a competitive energy here. It feels like there's a rivalry. Okay, I don't want that. What do I want to do to attempt to change it? Do I want to initiate a conversation with the person? Your intuition will know if the person can even meet you there in that way. Maybe they can't, so then that's out. Do you want to write a letter to them that you don't send? And you get to say everything? And through the writing process, you might discover, oh, I now have more compassion for myself. I now have more empathy for them. I see what's going on here. You might want to journal about it. You might want to ask yourself what you're doing on your end that keeps up the rivalry. And the thing you might be doing might be nothing. You might be being passive. The person might have quick jabs at you and you might just fold and crumple. Sit with that. Check in with that. What happened in your childhood? What happened in your sibling relationships? What happened in your early school experiences that said, I'm supposed to just take this? That dynamic then is bullying. Why? Why you gotta bully there? Why are you the bullied in this scenario? Do you believe that situations, that relationships tend to be that one person overpowers the other, one person has more energy than the other, one person is more competent, more capable, more whatever than the other? Do you compare yourself to other people? There's something going on within you that perpetuates the dynamic. Not that you're creating it necessarily, but we are all co-creating things. And it can't just be the other person did this and that's why they're bad. It's reductionistic, and it takes all of your agency and power and crumples it up and puts it in the trash. It doesn't deserve to be there. You are powerful. You do have agency. There's something that you're doing or not doing that's perpetuating dynamics that you don't enjoy. So instead of looking at the other person and focusing on them, which would be the Libra, South Node, shadowy energy, we're going to find this Libra energy and like exalt it. We're going to bring it into a higher state of consciousness. We're going to focus on what are we doing in relationship that doesn't serve us, that leads to dynamics that don't serve us, and what can we do differently once we know what we do or what we don't do, and why. Ooh, chatter is not the same as communication. Damn. Sibling or sibling-like rivalry can challenge you to grow in small doses, but don't let it distract you from your self-direction. Stay on target. And we are all siblings in the eye of spirit. Let that sink in. Whoa, so we got the Two of Pentacles twice? Whoa. Whoa. What's really coming through is how important it is for you to lead a well-balanced life, for you to have your priorities in check, for you to feel like your partnerships are reliable and mutual, for you to feel like you are capable of adapting and the people that you have closest to you are too. Whoa. That's pretty beautiful. Synchronistic. So if we add the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles to the Two of Coins, we have 4. The 4 of Coins is about conserving resources. So during the time of this full moon, you might also be checking in and reflecting and asking yourself, how do I show up in my fullness without giving more than my body wants, without over-functioning, without operating with this belief system that I'm not enough? How do I just be? How do I allow myself to just be? Not be responsible, not be a mentor, not be a guide, not be anything to anybody. How do I just be? Who am I when I'm just being? That could be a very fun exploration if that resonates. Maybe you could just show up to the party and just follow your body. You want to go talk to that person, you talk to that person. You want to leave, you go to the restroom. You talk to somebody else. You do something else. You excuse yourself. And you just let yourself flow. What if you just let yourself flow through life this week, these few weeks, these next 6 months? Because eclipse energy, it lasts for a while. I would even say it's beyond 6 months. It could be for the rest of your life if this is what you desire for yourself. So have fun with the time. Expand it, extend it. Let it be for forever, for infinity, if you desire, with whatever you're leaving, whatever you're letting go. And recognize that the universe is on your side. They're supporting you. They want this for you too. So get clear. Communicate with your guides about what it is that you want to change. Wow. Communicate honestly and directly. Don't assume, set your boundaries, and remember, it's okay to just say no. Your reading is complete. Synchronistic through and through. I trust that you found the pieces and the gems that were just for you, and you left whatever didn't resonate. And I will catch you in the future. I hope you have the best full moon, south node, lunar eclipse. Oh, it's so powerful. Bye.